I realized how much stress I had been under, which made me unable to stop. I will make an appointment with the hospital right now. My hand holding the phone trembled with anger. Then, my husband took the phone from me and said,
"There is no need for infertility test. I'm not going to force us to have children just because others want it. The same goes for work. I value our time as a couple, and it's our issue."
I was surprised by his unexpectedly strong tone and attitude, which I hadn't seen from him before. It seems my in-laws were feeling the same way. Both of them fell silent. The following week, after enduring an awkward time, I quietly took a day off and visited the obstetrician gynecologist. My husband's vehement anger seems to have put a damper on my in-laws' meddling for a while. But in case it turned out I really was infertile, I felt anxious and decided to clarify things. I considered inviting my husband along, but given the recent events, it was a sensitive topic, so I decided to keep it to myself until I confirmed my own situation first. I went to hear the result alone. I was extremely nervous and worried, but the results showed no issues. Almost unconsciously, I felt like humming a tune, and as I looked around again, I noticed a pregnant woman with a big belly patiently waiting her turn in the waiting room. Seeing her made me think, not right now of course, but someday, maybe I too. And I felt that sentiment within me.
"Hey Lisa, you seem to be in a good mood. Plus, this huge feast, was it an anniversary or something?"
Well, sort of. It's not an anniversary, but there's cake for dessert.
Nice.
As the two of us chatted away and enjoyed dessert and tea, we were immersed in happiness.
"Lisa, how much do you have saved up right now?"
Huh? How much? What?
"Well, you receive a fixed amount of money every month, but each of us manages our own income, right? I was just curious about how you handle your personal spending money and savings."
Oh, it's fine. I'm not really struggling. My saves aren't huge, but I've been steadily saving up.
"How much?"
My husband seemed somewhat hesitant to ask, and I tilted my head in confusion.
"Could you manage to rearrange things a bit if possible? Things have been tight around here lately."
Tight? We weren't planning on any big purchases, were we? Oh, but if it's just temporarily, we can use some money from both of our savings. Come to think of it, how much did we have in savings again? Can you show me the bank book?
"That's not it. I'm talking about using your savings, Lisa."
Huh? I was surprised by my husband's sudden irritation. At that moment, my husband produced a familiar phone. A cash advance bill?
"It's a hassle when it gets overdue. It has to be paid by the due date."
What's this? Why is the amount so... What did you use it for?
"That doesn't matter. Just quickly notify the store."
It does matter. And about the bank book. Actually, about our savings.
"I told you, there's none. If you want to see for yourself, go ahead."
The bank book he tossed over showed a balance of only 2 digits. Huh? But we save money every month. Even though we were in an old apartment now, eventually, when we have children, we'll need a bigger place. Despite my shock, my husband began rummaging through my bag. And then,
"Huh? What's this? Infertility test?"
with a look of disbelief, my husband slewed the document aside. I just wanted to make sure, in case I'm infertile. Actually, I was planning to invite you to come with me.
Who said anything about getting treatment? Don't mess with me!
With an enraged tone, my husband started emptying the contents of my bag. Seeing my husband's sudden change in demeanor, I quickly grabbed the pouch that flew open and handed him the bank book for our savings.
Why do you carry it around? If you had kept it in a drawer or something, we wouldn't be having this trouble.
I'm sorry. 1 month later.
Lisa, you seem down lately. What's wrong?
The routine visit to my in-laws' house every weekend continued as usual. It seems we are temporarily averted the crisis with our bank book. And later, my husband apologized in a soothing tone. I nodded silently, but our relationship remained strained. My husband pretended that everything was normal on the surface, but it seems that I couldn't hide my feelings on my face. But your complexion looks off. Have you lost some weight? Oh, could it be? My mother-in-law snapped her fingers. Could it be that you're pregnant? Are you feeling unwell due to morning sickness?
I see. Despite everything, we finally have a grandchild.
My father-in-law's face also lit up. Please, stop it already. I raised my voice again. After the events of a month ago, things remained calm for a while. But then, anger began to simmer. Seeking advice from my female friend filled doubts that I had secretly wished to dispel. Since then, I had been preparing for this moment. I will settle it once and for all. There won't be a day when you can hold a grandchild. I laughed at my in-laws.
Lisa?
My husband stood up abruptly. Oh, you want to fess up yourself?
What? Lisa?
My in-laws were bewildered. I spread out my test result. I can prove that there is nothing wrong with me. But what about you? Ugh! I added another document and a voice recorder. My husband started trembling. If you listen, you will understand. But you've been spreading rumors elsewhere that I'm infertile. But it's strange, isn't it? The results of the premarital check we did before on a whim with our drinking buddies are different, right? My friend got hold of the result and the photos we took at the drinking session. As I slowly flipped through the pages, there was a photo of my husband. His face flashed, pointing to a section of the document. On the next page, there was an enlarged version of that area.
Huh? No way!
It seemed even my in-laws, who were peering in, understood. A defective product incapable of having children. I will throw those exact words right back at you.
Shut up!
My husband glared at me with red eyes.
You're always just working, neglecting your wifey duties. Consider yourself lucky just to have been taken as a wife.
As my husband uttered those spiteful words, I felt my emotions grow cold to the core. Who is it that can't get by without that income?
What?
I think it's best to leave it there. Didn't I tell you to investigate? As expected, Hugh avoided eye contact when I reminded him of this. And there, farther ahead, was the figure of my father-in-law. Oh, it's a secret between men, isn't it? I flipped through another document. What? You! My in-laws were looking at me with different emotions. When I saw the investigation result, I too felt utterly helpless. So, when your dad said he was going on business trips, it turns out he was actually going to horse racing tracks or boat races. When he lost money there, he'd borrow from you, who, unable to admit you had no earnings, would pretend and resort to cash advances. Father and son are both gambling, So there must have been a tacit understanding between you two. The day you suddenly bought a cake, it was probably because you had income from gambling. Did you feel guilty about using the money that we were supposed to be saving together?
Shut up.
That's right. Meddling despite being a daughter-in-law. The one who erupted with feeble objections was my mother-in-law. You have been deceiving me all along. Lying is despicable.
You're the worst too, Mom.
What? Pretending to be weak on weekends to make me do the housework, but then going out energetically during weekdays. My mother-in-law looked as if she had been doused with cold water, not expecting to see her own photo. Nothing but secrets and lies. Like father, like son, huh? And I've been fooled. I don't know what I thought was so good about this guy, but I'm ashamed of myself. The heavy sigh wasn't an act. It was genuine. Please, let's get a divorce. When I thrust the already filled out divorce papers at him, my husband snapped.
That's my line. I will find a better wife than you.
After a heated exchange, my husband roughly filled out the divorce papers and stormed off. With my in-laws too busy with their own disputes, they showed no intention of intervening.
Here's the divorce papers. Take them.
Don't hold back. As I meticulously checked for any mistakes, it seemed like he thought I was waiting for him to stop.
Even though you won't submit them, don't push your luck.
Suddenly, speaking down on me.
You've got no savings left, and you're hopeless. Apologize. And from now on, work as hard as you can. I might forgive you now.
I shivered as my husband gave a faint smile, suggesting there were no other options. Don't worry. I have divided the bank books to manage them separately. What I gave you was the smallest amount. And actually, I've been promoted. I can manage well enough on my own.
Huh?
Well then, goodbye.
Wait!
I quickly turned on my heel. He was yelling something behind me, but I didn't care to listen. A few days later, as a precaution, I sought refuge at our friend's house. After confirming my husband's absence, I vacated our home. That night, I received several incoming calls.
What's going on? Why can't I get into the room?
The furious voice, loud enough to be heard without a speaker, belonged to my ex-husband. We have already submitted divorce papers, so we're not a couple anymore. Of course, it's only natural since we've canceled the contract and changed the locks.
What? You're doing whatever you want.
Well, that's because I've been renting this room since I was single. I sent your belongings COD to your parents' house.
Huh? You?
I don't want to be called you by someone who are not even my husband. I abruptly ended the call. Of course, I also remembered to set up call blocking. Good job! Thank you. The new room is part of the company's employee dormitory. I celebrated with a friend who came to help me move and to take precautions, just in case.
Let's go submit the marriage registration form again. You should need me, damn it!
It was a few moments later when my husband's voice echoed in the company's lobby. He, my ex-husband, barged in as I was about to have lunch during my break.
Where do you live now? I will move there too. If you got promoted, your salary must have increased, right? It's been tough.
Looking at him in his shabby suit, I felt sorry for him. Men are prohibited.
Huh?
And if it's tough, why don't you work hard somewhere else instead of coming here?
You, acting all innocent, are just leeching off me for money.
My husband, who was ranting and raving, was taken away by a security guard and taken in by the police. I said sorry for causing trouble, and my colleagues and supervisors comforted me. They threw a dinner party to celebrate my promotion and divorce anniversary. Since then, it's been 3 years already, and I met someone through a friend, and now I'm pregnant. I'm about to go on maternity leave soon. I heard that my ex-husband had to quit his job due to his bad behavior, like getting into trouble with the law and gambling debts. The house, where my in-laws reluctantly reside together, has also fallen apart, leaving behind a scene resembling a garbage dump. My mother-in-law, being herself, apparently engaged in infidelity during my father-in-law's absence and ended up moving in there or something like that. Furthermore, it seems my father-in-law is claiming compensation for the infidelity from my mother-in-law. But to me, it's all the same. Well, they're both strangers to me, so I don't really care. I will keep my head up and do my best to preserve my current happiness.